Hey there, fellow wanderlusters. So you're looking into the best spots for digital nomads in 2025, huh?
Always that balance, isn't it?
Trying to find that sweet spot where affordable living meets a thriving digital nomad scene.
Right.
Well, today we're diving deep into a source that promises to reveal not just where to go,
Mm-hmm.
but how to find the perfect fit for you.
Absolutely. It's not just a list of names on a map.
Right.
Our source breaks it down by cost of living,
Okay.
the co-working scene, and perhaps most importantly,
Okay.
the strength of the digital nomad community in each location.
I like it.
And they sprinkle in some extra pro tips along the way.
Love it. The source itself is formatted like a video script, so we're pulling out the most valuable insights for you.
Cool.
Right off the bat, they tease some pretty exciting destinations.
Oh, yeah.
Portugal, Chiang Mai, Medellin,
Wow.
even a nod to Croatia.
Interesting.
They immediately flag Portugal's Golden Visa program as something noteworthy.
Okay.
Then they build up to their top 3 picks.
Right.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
All right, let's break it down. The source really emphasizes locations that cater specifically to the needs of digital nomads, not just general tourist appeal.
Gotcha. So it's about more than just pretty beaches.
Exactly.
First up on their list is Bali, Indonesia. Okay, I'll admit the idea of working with those lush rice paddies and beaches in the background is
Yeah.
pretty tempting.
Yeah.
But I know Bali has been a nomad hotspot for a while now.
It has, but what's interesting is that the source highlights how Bali is going beyond the typical tourist offerings.
Okay.
They're talking about dedicated co-working spaces designed for remote workers and a huge emphasis on wellness activities specifically for this community.
Okay.
Think world-renowned yoga retreats like the one in Ubud,
Yeah.
led by Ketutarsana, or the silent meditation retreats at the Bali Silent Retreat Center.
Wow.
So if incorporating wellness practices into your nomadic life is a priority, Bali seems to be upping its game.
Interesting.
What do you think? Does that kind of blend appeal to you?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I've tried those meditation apps. But a silent retreat in Bali sounds way more effective.
Right.
Okay, so we've got Bali for the Zen-seeking nomads.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list, we're heading to Medellin, Colombia.
Okay.
Now, I know this city has a bit of a complicated past.
That's true, but it's undergone a remarkable transformation in recent years.
Yeah.
The source actually highlights this,
Okay.
focusing on how Medellin has shed its old image and become a haven for expats and digital nomads.
Wow.
They talk about the paisa culture,
Paisa culture.
which I have to say is truly special. It's this incredible warmth and welcoming spirit that permeates the city.
Oh, wow.
People are genuinely friendly and helpful, always ready with a smile and a chat.
That sense of community is a big draw for a lot of nomads, right?
Absolutely.
Especially when you're landing in a new city and trying to find your footing.
For sure.
So Medellin scores high on the community vibe.
Yeah.
Plus that year-round spring weather isn't too shabby either.
Exactly. And when you combine that welcoming atmosphere with a relatively low cost of living, it's easy to see why Medellin is becoming such a popular choice.
Okay, so 2 down, 1 to go.
Yeah.
And it's the source's top pick overall.
Ooh, exciting.
Drumroll, please. It's Lisbon, Portugal.
Lisbon.
Now, I've always been intrigued by Lisbon.
Yeah.
Those winding, picturesque alleys,
I know, it's beautiful.
the stunning architecture.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me, is the hype real?
It seems to be. The source raves about Lisbon's blend of old world charm and modern amenities.
Okay.
And of course, there's the food. Lisbon is a foodie's paradise.
I heard.
And the source specifically mentions its world-class cuisine. Have you ever had a pastel de nata?
Sadly, no.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a delicious custard tart situation.
You are! You
Um,
win!
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Mm-hmm.
They're these small egg custard tarts with a flaky crust dusted with cinnamon. They're practically synonymous with Lisbon.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Okay, you've officially added Devour Pastel de Nata to my Lisbon to-do list.
I love it. But food aside, what else makes Lisbon so special for digital nomads?
Well, the source emphasizes its fast-growing tech and startup scene, which means great opportunities for networking and collaboration.
Ah, I see.
It's a dynamic hub attracting talent from all over.
And let's not forget about that Golden Visa program we mentioned earlier.
Right.
From what I understand, it offers a pretty straightforward path to residency for non-EU citizens,
Yeah.
which is a huge deal for nomads looking for stability and long-term options.
Huge.
But what are the actual requirements?
Well, you need to meet certain investment criteria.
Okay.
It could be through real estate purchase,
Huh?
capital transfer,
Okay.
or even creating jobs in Portugal.
Interesting.
What makes it attractive is its flexibility and the relatively low investment threshold compared to other European countries.
Gotcha.
It also offers a pathway to citizenship, which is a major incentive for many.
Right, because visa issues can be a real headache.
Definitely.
So if you're thinking long-term, Lisbon seems to tick a lot of boxes.
Yeah,
Affordable living, a thriving nomad scene, that golden visa option.
for sure.
Sounds pretty tempting.
It definitely seems to be a winning combination.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating here is that the source suggests Portugal is actively positioning itself as a digital nomad hub.
Okay.
They're aware of the economic benefits and are creating a welcoming environment for this community.
Smart move on their part.
Right.
So we've got our top 3.
Let's recap.
Bali for the wellness seekers,
Mm-hmm.
Medellin for the community-minded,
Right.
and Lisbon for the nomads, looking for a bit of everything with that extra layer of stability.
Sounds good.
But I know the source mentioned some other interesting locations too, right?
Yes. But for your sake, we're focusing on the cream of the crop, the ones they believe will be the most relevant to you in your search.
Makes sense.
Right. You know, it's interesting that the source mentions a rise in digital nomad visas becoming more common.
Yeah?
It's like the world is finally catching on to this lifestyle,
Yeah.
recognizing the value remote workers bring.
It's about time.
Right.
It feels like for so long, the visa process has been a major roadblock for nomads.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting to see countries actively trying to attract us,
For sure.
not just tolerate us.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We're bringing our skills, our spending power,
Yeah.
and contributing to the local economy.
Exactly. And this trend of specific digital nomad visas is something the source highlights as a game changer.
Right.
They argue it could lead to a whole new era of global mobility, making it easier for people to live and work wherever they choose. What's your take on that? Do you think it'll live up to the hype?
Honestly, I'm a bit cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I've been burned by complicated visa processes before.
Right.
So I'm waiting to see how these new programs actually play out.
Mm-hmm.
But the potential is huge, right?
Absolutely.
It could open up a whole new world of possibilities for nomads.
And that's why the source suggests this deep dive shouldn't be your last stop.
Oh, interesting.
If you're serious about this lifestyle, keeping an eye on emerging visa programs could be invaluable.
I like it.
Who knows what other amazing destinations will be rolling out the welcome mat for digital nomads in the coming years?
Great point.
Yeah.
This could be just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, so we've talked about the practicalities, but let's not forget the life part of that work-life balance.
Mm.
Each of these places offers unique experiences beyond the co-working spaces. For example, in Bali, I'm imagining myself exploring ancient temples,
Yeah.
trying a traditional Balinese cooking class, and definitely catching some epic sunsets on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even trying out a kikak dance performance.
Ooh.
I hear those are pretty incredible.
And don't forget about those Balinese massages.
Oh, yeah.
Wellness is deeply ingrained in their culture. In fact, the source specifically recommends checking out the traditional healing practices,
Okay.
like the Melukat purification ritual,
Okay.
which is said to cleanse your mind, body, and spirit.
See, that's the kind of unique experience I'm talking about.
Right.
Something you wouldn't find just anywhere. Okay, what about Medellin? What kind of adventures await us there?
Well, Medellin is known for its vibrant nightlife.
So maybe checking out a salsa club or two should be on your list.
Okay.
And the street food scene is incredible. You have to try the bandeja paisa,
Nadeja Paisa.
a hearty platter of traditional Colombian food.
Okay, I'm in.
The source actually recommends a walking tour of Comuna 13,
Interesting.
a neighborhood that's transformed itself through art and community initiatives.
Wow.
It used to be one of the most dangerous parts of the city,
Really?
but now it's a symbol of hope and resilience.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that these destinations are more than just pretty facades. They have stories to tell,
Yeah.
struggles they've overcome.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got spiritual cleansing in Bali,
Mm-hmm.
salsa dancing, and transformation in Medellin.
Right.
What about Lisbon? I'm already picturing myself wandering through those charming alleys,
Yeah.
maybe taking a day trip to Sintra to see the Pina Palace,
Beautiful.
and definitely indulging in all the delicious seafood.
And don't miss out on experiencing a live fado performance.
It's a traditional Portuguese music genre that's full of soul and emotion. It's practically the soundtrack of Lisbon.
Oh, wow.
The source recommends checking out a Casa de Fado.
Casa de Fado.
Okay. A traditional venue where you can experience an authentic performance.
Okay, I'm adding that to my list.
Yeah.
You know, I think what's coming through here is that choosing a digital nomad destination is about more than just the practical considerations.
Right.
It's about finding a place that resonates with you on a deeper level, a
Yeah.
place that offers experiences that align with your interests and values.
Absolutely. And that's where the source drops a thought-provoking question.
Yeah.
Beyond the logistics, what kind of environment do you thrive in? What kind of impact do you want to make while traveling and working?
That's a great question. It's not just about finding a cool place to work. It's about finding a place that inspires you,
Mm-hmm.
challenges you, and maybe even helps you grow as a person.
For sure.
It's about creating a fulfilling life, not just a nomadic existence.
Precisely. It's about finding a place that even if temporarily feels like home, but the source reminds us that feeling of home can also come from within.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, before we get too philosophical, we've got one more destination to unpack,
Oh.
and it's a curveball. Our source throws in a wildcard pick, a place that's not on anyone's radar yet, but they believe it has massive potential. Okay, so you're saying there's a hidden gem out there,
Mm-hmm.
a place that's about to explode onto the digital nomad scene.
They call it the sleeping giant of digital nomad destinations.
Okay.
Tbilisi, Georgia.
Tbilisi.
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm not super familiar with Georgia. What makes them think it has so much potential?
Well, the source points to a few key factors. First, the cost of living is incredibly low,
Right.
even compared to places like Bali or Medellin.
Right.
They're talking about rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for under $500 a month.
Wow, that's practically unheard of these days,
I know, right?
especially for a capital city. Okay, affordability check. What else?
They highlight the country's incredible natural beauty. Think snow-capped mountains, lush valleys,
Wow.
and even a coastline along the Black Sea.
So it's got the scenery covered too. That's definitely appealing.
And here's the kicker. Georgia recently launched a remotely from Georgia visa specifically designed for digital nomads.
Oh, wow.
It offers a one-year stay with the possibility of extension and requires minimal paperwork.
Hold on, a whole year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Most digital nomad visas I've seen are only for a few months.
Exactly. It seems Georgia is really serious about attracting remote workers. They're also investing in high-speed internet infrastructure and developing co-working spaces specifically for this community.
So they're laying the groundwork, making it easy for nomads to settle in and thrive. But what about the culture? What's it like living in Tbilisi?
The source describes it as a fascinating blend of Eastern and Western influences. You've got ancient history and architecture, a vibrant arts and music scene, and a delicious culinary tradition that draws on both European and Middle Eastern flavors. And apparently the locals are incredibly hospitable, known for their warmth and generosity.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Low cost of living, stunning scenery, a digital nomad-friendly visa, and a rich culture. It sounds like Tbilisi might just be the perfect off-the-beaten-path destination.
The source certainly seems to think so. They believe it's only a matter of time before Tbilisi becomes a major player in the digital nomad world.
So it sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. We've explored the established hotspots like Bali, Medellin, and Lisbon, and now we've got this exciting up-and-comer Tbilisi to add to the mix. But after this deep dive, I think what's really resonating with me is that the digital nomad lifestyle is about so much more than just finding a cheap place to work. It's about embracing a global mindset.
Right.
Being open to new experiences,
Yeah.
and finding those places that truly speak to your soul.
Couldn't agree more. It's about crafting a life that allows you to explore your passions, connect with diverse communities, and create memories that will last a lifetime. And remember, the world is constantly evolving. New destinations are emerging, visa programs are changing, and the possibilities are endless. So keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep chasing those dreams.
Beautifully said. And hey, if you end up venturing off to Tbilisi or any of these other incredible destinations, be sure to let us know. We'd love to hear about your adventures. Until next time, happy travels, and may your Wi-Fi always be strong.